Hey Project Fam, that's right, just a little gardening update. So these tomato plants, these container plants I have in the back, I have a total of 8 plants, all planted from seeds. Is that right? Actually, no, not all planted from seeds. The 2 on the far right are planted from seeds, everything else I bought from the nursery. And I do have irrigation running to them, and I'm just growing more tomatoes than I care to deal with. I know that's a horrible thing to say. I should jar them and can them. I might try something with it. I'll make some pizza on the smoker. I'll do some really cool things. But I have family coming over later, and I know they're going to go through the tomatoes and let me get rid of some of the dead branches. Tomatoes are a wonderful plant. Whether they're a fruit or a vegetable, that's one thing. But the other thing I can tell you is they are a weed. They will definitely self-sustain. They will ripen the tomatoes on the bottom portion of the plant, right? And as the tomato plant grows and it needs to send more power to the top of the plant, so it'll kind of die, it'll kill some of the branches at the bottom, just the leaves, so it could send a lot of that positive energy to ripening and developing fruit at the top of the plant. That's why I love tomatoes, because they're very easy to maintain. And normally what I typically do is cut off all the bottom branches, the ones that are yellow. Before they turn yellow, I'm actually trimming the plant. And I might go out later and do that, but this will be good enough right now for family so they can come over and grab some tomatoes.
Oh my God, so beautiful. Oh, I can't wait. Omelets, here I come. Stewed chicken, here I come. Salad, here I come. I'm making a salad next week.
It's gonna die.
That's crazy talk. That is crazy talk. Do you understand how much I cook with tomatoes? You should caption this when your sister-in-law comes over that loves tomatoes and she don't have a bag. Ooh, look how beautiful that is.
Also in the patio, I'm growing some peppers in pots. And if you know about anything about growing peppers in pots, you need to keep them watered because the sun will heat up that pot every day and dry that pot out prematurely, and your peppers need a lot of water. This happens to be a variety I bought from the nursery. I never had them before. They're called Cherry Hots. I actually bit into it. Yes, silly me. I bit into it, and yes, it is very hot. Next, I have Roma tomatoes growing in a barrel, hydroponic barrel with some solutions. And yes, you can tell these tomatoes are doing very well. They definitely need to be pruned. I see way too much green and not enough tomato, and tomatoes like a lot of sunlight. So I need to prune this to make sure I get the most out of this plant, but it seems to be growing very well. In general, when a vegetable is ripe and ready to come off, you can just yank at it very lightly and it should be able to come off very easily. You shouldn't have to pull that hard.
Oh my God! She lost her mind.
I guess I didn't mention that I had tomatoes also growing in front of the house, also growing in containers. Those are actually a majority of the storage containers that you would buy from the big box store, but tomatoes are growing well here, and yes, they also need to be pruned. You can see what the tomato bush is trying to do after it ripened. Those tomatoes at the bottom, it's starting to yellow off those leaves so it could send more positive energy to ripening and even growing more fruit at the top of the plant. So just with the tomato plants, I have a total of 8 plants in the back, 6 more plants up front. It's a little excessive, but yeah, I like my tomatoes. I guess the key here is the self-watering containers. You can grow anything in those containers. There's 3 things that you're going to need to grow pretty much a plant, fruit, or vegetable. You're going to need sunlight, you're going to need water, and you're going to need nutrients, obviously, in some type of soil. Those are the 3 things you need, and you can grow in anything. As shown below, I am growing in a storage container. I'm not even using a garden, just a storage container. That storage container can be on concrete, it can be in cement, it could be on a front patio, back patio, it doesn't matter. Also growing in solution, that's orange habanero. I didn't grow that from seed. I bought the small plant from the big box store and just stuck it in the top of the barrel. Make sure that the barrel has some solution, and that's really it. I don't have to do too much. The plant doesn't have a ton of roots, so it's not going to take all the water, so that should be fine. And those 3 plants were the replacement plants that I put over there kind of late in the season. That's why they're very small. That was just jalapeno, and we already saw the tomatoes. That is Roma tomato. Again, that's what I bought from the big box store, and just kind of stuck it right on top of those barrels. A lot of those tomatoes at the top still need to ripen, so I do need to trim it to give it some sun. Oh, those look like Carolina Reaper leaves, and I'm not sure what that is. Let's see if I have a tag. Oops, no tag. Over here is a pepper. I think it's called a sweet pepper. I basically bought it from the store, liked it so much, kept the seeds, dried them out, and now I have mini sweet peppers for myself. This is toward the end of the season, but I still have some kale hanging out in this container, just letting that grow, not doing anything. I had some lettuce in those other containers, a ton of basil. I know I need to do something with that. Off to the side looks like some collards. Yep, those are some collards just hanging out. And I have the large okra leaves. Yep, okra's still popping. Okra's still popping. Okra. And some more kale just hanging out. More okra. Okra's doing its thing right now. That looks a little rough. And I think this last container I should have some peppers, a lot of little peppers. If I get down real low, let's see what this tag says. It says, ooh, my gosh, I can't even read that. That's a Carolina Reaper. And to the right of the Carolina Reaper looks to be Scotch bonnet. I don't know. I have to look at the tags. Now I'm going to go to my container just with herbs. In the back, I have some lavender. Up front, I have some rosemary. Then on both sides of the house, I have some figs planted. 4 different varieties of figs. And around here, we have a raised bed of lemon balm. And in the back, we have mint. Over in this raised bed, I have about 12 different pepper plants. That would probably take a whole different video, but as you can tell, they're growing very nicely. The way this bed is designed is you see the black weed cloth, so I don't have to weed this. It has irrigation going to it, so I don't have to do much to this bed other than kind of set it and forget it. That actually looks like a lemon drop pepper. I might have to sample that and check it out. And that concludes my tour. That's all she wrote. Those are all the plants that I have. I have a combination of self-watering containers. I have hydroponic barrels. I have a couple of different raised garden beds. If I can do anything differently, you know what? I'll save that for a new video. Thanks for watching.